God, where do we start? So here's our next installment, this 2006 little Kawasaki. A customer of ours, been to us a couple of times before. We've done a little bit of work to it, but someone's tried to steal it. And they've literally tried to hotwire it, black box it, damaged all of the wires. So I don't know where to start on that. Looks pretty bad. I found this on the floor next to it. The customer did, so let's try and get it fixed. We're going to need a multimeter. We're going to need some wire strippers. We're going to need our battery tester, our tester for positive and negative, our power probe, and I think the battery's under the seat. So I'll take the seat off and we'll get to the battery. And we'll see what we're saying. Got the ignition on that side. That nut feels like it's right underneath. It was indeed. Seat still won't come off. It's not a bike I'm overly familiar with, but you know, it's nuts and bolts. So upon further investigation on the eliminator, this feels better in that accent. I'm pretty sure the battery's behind this panel, to be fair, so let's try and get it off. Aha! Aha! We found it. Okay. God, where do we start? It's going to be a long job. Try and identify what wires are what. That wire there goes to this switchgear for our starter. But there's going to be no power going to it and no power coming from it. Obviously that's that plug there, but did it go to this one? Did it go to this one? What goes into this one? I have no idea, so we need to identify those. Like I say, a bit of a minefield. Let's get the bike up in the air, get some light on it. So here's what I'm thinking, gonna think out loud. This goes to the side stand switch, I'm pretty sure, which is down there, so we can leave that till afterwards. If you look, there's been a previous repair here, these two wires, and they've been joined together. When you look at this, you see, it's obviously been corroded before. Someone's bypassed that, so I'm pretty sure that plug is supposed to go plug with these wires, and there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which matches that 6 pin. And then this one here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is supposed to go to this one. 3, 4, 5, 6. So I reckon that one to that one, and that one to that one. I'm guessing anyway, so that's where I'm going to start from, and then try and hopefully wire the bad boy together. But if you look at these ones, you see you got the red, the white stripe, and then here you got the red, the white stripe, the blue, and then the grey, and then you got the brown. So I'm pretty sure if we wired that together with a new block connector, might need to extend some of the wires, but I reckon if we did that and then we identified what these were, we should be back in business. Bit time consuming, but I'm sure you'll have fun with me on this journey, and hopefully we can get it running again for the customer. We've got some connector blocks. I don't know if we've got any 6-way ones, but let's have a look. We've got some 4-ways. Might need to order something in for it. They're multi-pin, those ones. But we'll have these drawers full of goodies. It's 3-way, 2-way, 6-way. Get in. So yeah, we have all the terminals and everything for these, so we can make a couple more 6-way plugs. We can put all the little terminals on, which is great. Happy days. All the ones that we need to crimp up. So we've got our male and we've got our female. I'm pretty sure these are for these connectors. You can obviously have the male on that side and the female on this side. Once they're crimped, they should plug in like this, I think. Anyway, sorry, they'll go the other way around, I think, like that. Afterwards. Happy days. Might have to extend some of these wires, like I said. It's not a great deal on there, but we'll see how we go. Let's get some tools. So we're going to need power probe. Love the power probe. Absolute wicked bit of kit, especially if you know how to use it. I don't. I'm going to get some strippers, some cutters. I'm going to get our power probe. We probably won't need this right away. Never forget your sheath. Just stops things rolling around, doesn't it? Which is a big help. Let's see. Obviously the ignition won't turn on because I'm going to try to hotwire it, but let's see if we've got power on the battery, and it should tell us how many volts. Listen for the ding ding. 11.8, so that's enough for us to test everything. Should be good. It's really long, this, because it's designed for cars. You know, like if you put that under the bonnet, and you can go to the back of the car to check the tail lights. And there's an extension as well that I have, just in case it needs to be a bit bigger. I'm going to see if any of these wires are live. Should give us a ping. Right, we've got negative, 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 negative. Just want to see if there's a live. Don't want to be blowing any fuses. That's your toolbox, not the fuse box, Dean. There will be a fuse box on it somewhere. Let's have a look at them wires. You can see they're a bit worn out. None of them look like they're damaged, to be fair. Okay, time to start stripping some things back. I'm going to leave that off for now so it doesn't drain the battery. Get the torch in a good position. There we go. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. On Amazon, that. Don't think we can pull them wires down much. Don't want to damage anything else. But we're going to need some maneuverability. And we're obviously going to have connector block here. And put a new connector block on there. Maybe while we're there, we should repair this. So we'll take this off, strip them wires back, and then we can put them in a new connector, which I think is a good idea. No, that won't fit. So I'm just going to rewire the whole thing. Oh, that does go to the ignition. That, I think. Can I totally disconnect that ignition? Yes, I can. I'm going to take this ignition off, and then I'm going to rewire this. That's the easiest way to do things. Just gives me a bit more room then, which I think is a good idea. Little Allen key. As some of you are hopefully quite acclimatized to my toolbox now, you don't need a lot for bikes. It's not really big heavy tackle or anything like that. It's relatively simple stuff, which is good. Anything I don't have, I then buy. So I'm not without it. And the shop does own a few tools as well. We have another toolbox over there with some bits and pieces in it that we use from time to time. Let's disconnect that. Very handy little thing, this, actually. And the ignition valve is off. There we go. So let's get this whole thing rewired. A bit corroded, that. I'll need to clean that off. But yeah, let's get this all cut off. Let's just go for it, shall we? Let's just man up. Oh, it feels good. It feels bad. I feel like a bike thief. So we're going to get these all stripped back. We'll get the connectors crimped on. We've got a special crimping tool for that. I always get the wrong drawer. Oh, there we go. Great for crimping when you use the right one. So let's get these all done. I'm going to get a bit of emery cloth, clean that up a bit actually. It's not going to break. It's just got a little bit of light corrosion on it, but if you split the wires up like that, we have a bit of emery cloth here. I'll clean these up a bit. And we've got some electrical cleaner as well we can use. If these were breaking, I'd have to strip the wire right back or go inside the back here and put a new wire in. I think we should be okay. Obviously, it's got to be cost effective for the customer, because like a couple of hours labour is going to be like 120 quid, isn't it? Plus VAT. So time is money, friend. We need to try and make it affordable for the customer. But also we want it to work. We don't want to be having to do things twice. So, right, we're all good there. Let's start stripping. We should only need about that much for this. Oh, look at the state of that one. You see again, it's a bit corroded, a bit blacked out, that. I mean, I'd love to just put a new ignition barrel on it. Then we have to change the key. The key doesn't match everything else. So let's try this first. If we can get it at least running and the switch gear working, we're getting somewhere, aren't we? So we've got those all cleaned off now. They're not the best. They should be okay. Conductivity wise, I'm going to start crimping. We're just going to crimp 6 of these bad boys on, put it in the terminal, and then we'll do the side that's on the bike, which is going to be a little bit more challenging. It's these 6 here, wasn't it? So maybe, I mean, I might be easier to take the tank off, give me a bit more room under there, but let's try. So crimping tool, I don't know if you can see this, I'll try and show you best I can. This is the bit here that holds the wire. So bit here that holds the wire, and then that bit crimps this bit. So ideally it needs to be like that, so to speak. So we'll see while I go on. So I need to line it up so that that is in the middle. Let's do this one first. I think that might be a bit long, you know, so let's just cut it down ever so slightly. Try and go in from there. It's quite a thick one, this. There we go, we should be okay there. It's just a bit difficult to see, it's very small. And then when we look at the crimp, there we go. That's pretty good, to be fair. You can see it's holding the outer sleeve, and then it's crimped that bit. Not perfect, but not too bad. And then that in turn slots into there, like so. Perfect. I'm going to try and slot them in there, similar to this one. So they're in a sort of similar position. So let's get crimping. So I've just finished. They look pretty good, to be fair. I think they'll be okay. Some good crimpage. No expert. So we need to get these in here, and we want to make sure that they're somewhat the same as that one. So, damn, I cut them a bit too short. I can't see what colour they were. Let's start with the ones that we know. So we've got that blue one in the middle. Not the middle and the bottom. Bit of a crap fit. I think it must be. The one that corroded was this big one here. So that one should be top right. So if you look closely, you can see this bottom left one here was the red and white one, and the red one on top. Not that it matters, it just matters that I get the other two to join them in the right place. So that's that bit done. Just need to be very careful because the wires are old and fragile. We don't want to put too much stress on this. But yeah, we're basically going to go there. I'll need to do the other end. This, I've done the easy bit. Should have done the hard bit first, which is this one. So this side, I'm going to strip all these wires back, crimp these ones, which is going to be difficult with it being in, I'm going to use a big word here, with it being in situ. We'll give that one a go. I might disconnect this just to get it out of the way. But yeah, that's next challenge. Crimp these bad boys. I've done the easiest one first on this side, but it's quite long in comparison to the others. Ideally, they need to be the same sort of length, but that one's really short. What I might do is try and extend this one so it's a bit bigger, or might cut this one back because ideally they all need to go into the plug. So I've trimmed these back a bit just so that they're all level, otherwise it's going to be all higgledy-piggledy, so to speak. I forgot to mention you need to disconnect the battery if you're doing anything like this. We did check that all of them were live, but anything touching could turn the headlights on. I did unplug this one here. I don't know if you can see there's a bit of corrosion in that, so we're going to clean that before we put it back together, which was this one here, where that harness goes to, where it looks like it's the clocks. So we're going to give that a clean. That could be a potential problem. And then with this one, this goes to the switch gear. So it should be just an on and off switch and a start. There must be something else there. Does that go into it? Yeah, we've got our brake light switch. So we should be identical. So we'll have 2 wires for the start, 2 wires for the ignition, the kill switch, and 2 wires for the brake switch. So that makes sense that we've got 6 there. What we could do is we give that negative power, and then we put power down here. If it turns on the brake light, we know which one's our brake light. And then the same here as well. Looking at them, there's nothing on there that really matches. So it's just guesswork. But yeah, in theory, that's how it works. We'd have to do it on the other side of the loom. But yeah, I'm sure we can work our way around that. So we're getting there. There's just not much room, which is annoying, but beggars can't be choosers, our kid, as they say in Yorkshire. That's beautiful crimping. Crimp daddy. I hope you find it interesting as well. I do love my job. It's so much good fun. And you know, you learn every day in this game. There's always something new. I've never done this job before. It's not often you come across the same job all the time. It's very repetitive. That drives me mad, sort of repetitive work. But you're always learning in this game and exploring new things and doing new things. So yeah, we're good. We've got our 6 crimps. I'm going to get the connector block on. It's going to give us a bit more reduced room on that side, but let's get our connector block on. Yeah, we do. Just want to make sure I get it the right way around so we're not twisting the cables, so to speak. So yeah, in theory, we want the big white one, the top left. A little bit of force. We're in. Slide that bad boy in. There we go. Nice click. That's what I want to hear. Ah, come on, click. I'm going to cheat here. I'm going to get my long nose pliers. I'm going to give it a tug. Oh, did you hear that? Beautiful. I give another check as to where I've put everything. But yeah, that looks good. We should have some form of ignition now, I would have thought. So these 6 wires that we haven't done are just for the brake light switch and that. I'm going to plug this one back in for now, but I'm going to come back to that one because it's got a little bit of corrosion on it. But I'm just going to see what we've got now, what we're dealing with. And I'm hoping we should get some lights on, some ignition, and we'll be able to go from there. Key. Let's connect our battery. Battery's on, we're ready to go. I'm just going to plug this in really quickly and be on guard to unplug it again, just in case I hear anything funny or a fuse blow or anything. No, we're good. Let's see what goes on. Oh, we've got some ignition. And we've got a neutral light. That is great. I'm just going to drop it down a little bit so we can have a look and see what's going on. Yeah, we've got neutral light, we've got clock lights, we've got main lights. We have a somewhat of a horn, but it sounds like it's stuck. You can see the diaphragm moving. It's got power going to it. Have we got some indications? Oh, we've even got indicators. Other side. Should work in a bike shop, mate. High beam, low beam, we're good to go. I think that's an absolute great result, that. So yeah, next we need to wire. So here's my thinking. Obviously that is a 6-pin plug with 6 wires. We don't know what was on that end, but we can assume it was that one, although the wire colours are different. 6 wires joined together, if they're correct, should work. However, what about this? Did that wire into that? So I've been thinking, but if you look up here, you see that connector, that black one that I'm moving with the tape on the end? I reckon someone has bridged that. There's a pin in it to knock off the side stand switch, because I reckon there's a fault with that wire. So I don't think that was ever plugged in, that one, to be fair. So we're going to ignore it for now, but we can test it for continuity to see if the side stand switch is working. Maybe we could wire that back up again, but don't really want to touch that for now. Want to get these other things done. Now that we've got the ignition sorted and we've got ignition on, we can get power. So hence why we did this one first. So now that we've got power, headlights on, I can try and identify what these do by putting power down them and seeing what happens. So they're all negative. But looking from this, we know that one is going to be power, other one's going to be starter, other one's going to be brake light switch. So we need to identify which one's which is going to be the difficult part, but we had to do that bit first to give us the ignition, if that makes sense. If we turn the ignition on now, we've got a permanent there now. And we've got a permanent there as well. So we've got 2 permanents. So ideally, thinking about it, thinking outside the box, you'll have a permanent feed that will go to the on and off switch. And the on and off switch completes the circuit, it comes back down, and then it should start the bike. So one of these should start the bike. One that's a negative. Ah, there we go. So that's our start for the bike. Battery sounds flat, so what we can do is put like an ohms reading up here and then try and identify which one is a switch and which one does what, and then we can make a note and write that down on paper. So we're winning. It's going to be a bit slow now, but we're winning. We're getting there.